Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and in the very fruit poor month of April, especially fruit poor for Europe, I hit the jackpot here in southern Spain, in Malaga, the most tropical city in all of Europe. There are several fruiting ice cream bean trees in the botanic garden, and this one is already overripe and dropping tons of loot. Look at that, hundreds of those huge seed pods. Those huge seed pods which are filled with the stuff which at least is being called ice cream. Inga edulis, well, it's from tropical Central America and there are about 500 different ones, so well, everybody is calling it edulis. I'm not convinced it's edulis, but yeah, I think this is the one this is the type of Inga which is usually available in Spain and Portugal. There are a lot more different ones available, for example, in Mexico. They use a lot of them for landscaping, despite the huge amount of pods falling down. They use a lot of them for animal fodder. They use it also basically as a trash tree, cutting it down to provide fertilizer for the land. Like you plant it somewhere, you cut down the branches every year or every 2 years, they rot on the ground, and since it's in the Fabaceae, it produces a lot, it binds a lot of nitrogen, produces a lot of fertilizer. And then there are species, hybrids and varieties grown specifically for their fruits. Kind of suspect that we didn't get the best one here. They didn't send us the tastiest fruits, but they are tasty enough. They also didn't send us the biggest ones. I mean, this is a giant bean, but in Mexico there are some which can reportedly grow to over 1.5 meters. And now let's get to the tasty loot inside. I bet you want to see what I'm doing here. Okay. Using my teeth as a tool. Look at that. I wouldn't say it looks like ice cream, I would say it looks more like cotton candy. And just like cotton candy or ice cream, it melts in your mouth. You don't eat the tough outer rind, which is really leather-like. You don't eat the big black seeds. You eat the white fibrous stuff around them. And although this is not one of the best ones, of the best tasting ones, but it's the only one, or maybe one of two I've tasted. Found them in the Canary Islands and in southern Portugal and in southern Spain. They're tasty enough, but I think they were introduced here more as ornamentals. They are not one of the really tasty, fruity ones. But they're good enough. I mean, this white fibrous stuff melting in your mouth, it's sweet enough. I wouldn't necessarily sell this thing on the markets. It's not tasty enough for that. For that we would have to introduce better varieties or species or hybrids. But it's better. I mean, it's very productive. Probably it would be better to harvest them a little bit earlier, because the ones down on the ground are already quite desiccated and not very sweet anymore. But yeah, it would be a nice addition to the European fruit basket. What do you think? I mean, it's productive enough in the warmest parts of the Mediterranean and Atlantic climates here in the Iberian Peninsula, as you can see, producing hundreds of those pods on a small to medium-sized tree. Tell me, folks, what do you think about ice cream beans? Have you tried any? Were they tasty? Would you recommend them for cultivation as a fruit tree? Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful, incredibly fruit-rich city of Malaga, most subtropical city in all of Europe. Prove me wrong if you can. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.